Hello my dears, welcome back to Build Showcase, where I show you builds that I make and you enjoy them. This is a more recent one. I just realized exactly what you're looking at is a fairly recent invention on my behalf. It sort of came from me wanting to do a spinning death build quite a bit because my love for spinning death is an ever increasing vortex, literally, and also a small discovery of a way I like using the stubby that lent itself very nicely to the pairing. I did find the pairing, what I would pair with my spinning death breach cutter, to be important. I didn't want it to be something of no note whatsoever. I could have easily done a EM Refi booster with damage in tier 1 and ammo in tier 3 or something like that. Something boring like that, or like an executioner, or some boring shit. But I actually found something. It's not actually that exciting to use, I have to admit, but it was interesting to find out about it. So there's a couple important things here. I would say turrets aren't important. It's a very weird approach I've taken here with my turret being a LMG Mark II with quick deploy. I don't know why. It might have something to do with lures, in that I just prefer having a much more flexible sentry when I have to be doing a lot more preemptive work with my grenades. I don't know, it might have something to do with that. Either way, I like it. I can't truly recommend this. The only part of this I can truly recommend is the combination of breach cutter and lures, which is the thing that I'm really going to show off today. Spinning death is a fantastic hybrid. It's great at single target for like single targets that are on their own, but also combining it with lures to create an amazing way of clearing crowds while keeping you safe. It's also brilliant. It's my favorite use for lures. This and shard plastic catalyst together. That will be its own video though at some point. These are the two things that make me use lures, which automatically puts them in high regard to me. The fact that they make me use lures. Stubby, yeah, this is a weird stubby. I think I'll go through the breach cutter first. It's actually pretty standard as far as the mods go. It's pretty much what you'd expect, except tier 1. I guess some people do take magazine size, but you spinning death, you objectively need duration. Otherwise, it's literally half what it could be. You only gain 1 ammo for it. It's really not worth it. You actually lose so much damage by not taking lifetime. And ammo, obviously, spinning death got its ammo buffed recently, but unless you want it for pure single target, I wouldn't take condensed plasma because it's only going to be good against things stronger than Praetorians. We one-shot Praetorians already, so you definitely don't want to be sacrificing ammo for damage. So the more ammo we have, the more single targets and the more groups of enemies we can kill. Quick deploy, because it's just standard, I can't really go without it. I think this is actually one of the few overclocks where quick deploy could be argued to be, like, you could argue for improved case ejector, but honestly, quick deploy is actually cool in this sense because if you're in a sticky situation, you can just shoot it and you're basically inside your beam and it can keep you safe to a certain extent. Tier 4 stun is absolutely essential. I mean, it's pretty popular for the breach cutter, but it's essential here because it's what helps keep things inside the beam as it spins. You know, normal breach cutter, obviously the beam's just going to pass through things, but we have a beam here that is basically stationary, so we want things to stay in it. Tier 5 plasma trail is, I don't know. I simply prefer it. I reckon you could get away with going for any of them. I wanted to test if triple split line could still one-shot Praetorians. Obviously, if it can't, then go with plasma trail, because plasma trail, I believe the damage does stack. That might not be true, by the way, but I believe the damage does stack, and it just creates this incredibly dense thing. It helps improve, actually, you basically have an increased lifetime even further than what it says, even more than 7.5 seconds of this, so yeah. The spinning death itself is an overclock that I can heartily recommend. It's pretty fantastic. Obviously, it completely changes the playstyle, really. It makes the breach cutter even more close range, but in exchange for a lot more damage, just a lot more damage to individual enemies and much better choke point, I guess, action, things like that, area denial. So this stubby build that I recently came across actually used a very underrated overclock in my opinion. Still not a good one, but an underrated one, which is lightweight rounds. Which just gives you a lot more ammo, but decreases rate of fire and damage, which is pretty gnarly, if I'm being honest. I can't really deny that. I actually completely get why people wouldn't like this. I think it was always okay for a pure electric build where you use it to proc as many electric arcs as possible as a decent crowd control build. I thought that was fine. But I recently thought, what if I went all damage? Because I realised that when you do, you have the same amount of damage as if you, well, it's actually slightly higher there still. Basically the same as this. It's a bit odd, the point I'm trying to make, but the point I'm trying to make is it's still not, doesn't actually beat EM 5 booster out in terms of total damage, but more of the damage is kinetic damage, which means our weak point hits are actually stronger, which might result in more damage, might not. I don't truly recommend this, but it's interesting. It's like a sort of like a heavy hitter Stubby build, where it's like high damage per shot, it's like slower rate of fire, and you still have a lot of ammo to work with though. I think it's really interesting. Whether or not I recommend it will basically be up to you if you like the look of it from what I show you. Everything else is give or take. I took friendly because of Plastic Catalyst. I wish I actually had Born Ready instead. In this case, I am going to take Born Ready, but, well, I don't know. But even Spinning Death, actually, depending on the circumstances you can find yourself in, having friendly might not be a bad idea. Especially if you're in a tunnel and your friend needs to come up that tunnel. You don't want him running into your Spinning Death. Spawns, obviously, were Engineer. Vampire, obviously, you know my actives. I talked about the platform gun doesn't matter. This build has all ammo because of Plastic Catalyst. Honestly, I can see Spinning Death benefiting from repellent, which honestly I should have tried by now. I apologize that I haven't. I could probably fit it into a different build as well. So there's definitely something there. I think it'd probably be this one. It would probably be this one if I did that. I could change this to repellent. That would be just fine. But for now, we're going to stick with what I've been using for the past few days, which is this. And I mean, I don't know what the first thing I'm going to do is. You know, the guys are on. I might actually join them. I don't know. Although, actually, no, Mac Terrors is not a good mission to do. Cool. That's stupid. We'll see. Hi. I just did 16 minutes of a mission without recording it at all. I'm an idiot. I actually... Wow, okay. I said a lot of good stuff as well. Damn, I said a lot. I went through a lot of talking points. This is really weird. Hopefully they'll come up again, although that's... that's put me on my arse a bit. That's made... I feel like an idiot. And I don't like repeating myself either. We'll see. Should be fine. Should be fine. I decided to do a salvage op with Lift Phage Outbreak. I thought that was a good idea. For a couple of reasons. I think it's a mission where we shouldn't be at a disadvantage, although I found myself weirdly struggling with this build of salvage ops before, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But also, Lift Phage Outbreak is good in my opinion because it suits the weapons we got just okay, but it still adds a challenge. I wanted to do a mission that was challenging, but not like, not obviously putting us at a disadvantage. Which I think is a good way to do these missions for these videos. Not that I want things that are like golden for the build either. You know, I don't want it to be like a perfect match. You know, I don't inherently want to. I mean, I would want to do at least one of those missions if they exist. Like, for example, when I do a hyper propellant build video, which I will, much to my dismay, it's going to include a Dreadnought mission, obviously, because it's just so good at that. But it's also going to include other stuff which would be more challenging with hyper propellant because that's the way that overclock is. Anyway, a really important point, because I talked about it in the intro, was the tier 5 mods, where I wasn't sure if they were actually that important or not. It turns out that it is important because without Plasma Trail, you can't actually one-shot Praetorians with it. Which is obviously... to me, that is the most important breakpoint this has. Spinning Death, I'm sure, it's overkill against Grunts. I'm sure it's even overkill against Guards. But that's just a given. So we at least want it to kill Praetorians in one shot if it can. Like, you know, if it's already overkill against certain things, then we don't need to think about those. But if we can make it just good enough to hit certain breakpoints, then I'm going to do that. And Praetorian seems to be the main one. I assume we can probably still one-shot a Warden without Plasma Trail. I don't know that exactly, but... also did something weird where I did shoot it at a group of Mactera. Now, I don't inherently recommend this. I do if you're close to them and there's a lot of them. Because any Mactera that you do hit will die because of the stun. But you need to actually hit them. You can't, like, you know... the way spinning death is, that's more difficult than normal, basically. But if you can hit them, then they will die. So it's worth doing in certain scenarios. Against really dense Mactera hordes. Probably. Especially in a closed environment where spinning death already thrives. You know, that's when things that are usually good against Mactera are good against Mactera anyway, so same principles apply.
I'm getting too old for this crap.
Also, I explained how I'm not going to do an industrial sabotage because that video already exists. I don't feel the need to do it again. You can use this on industrial sabotage, I guess. That's really the lesson I learned from that. You can build platforms out and dump spinning death into the caretaker's vents, and it's fine. It's just fine. As in, I do think this is a build that does not have a weakness in terms of mission type. Which is pretty nice. It has a weakness in terms of warnings, maybe. I would say robots would definitely not be a strong suit. Although this Stubby is definitely built for that. As in, if I can do a rival presence elimination, that would be perfect. I would love to do that. Or I'll just find a rival presence and do a short elimination. Either way, probably going to do about 3 missions in this video. I think that makes a certain amount of sense. Yeah, weird. I made a lot... when I wasn't recording, I talked a lot about Waste and Lazy Maybe's Overclocked tier this video. Which is a great video, I do recommend it. Filled with weird stuff and cool stuff, like a lot of opinions I disagree with, a lot of opinions I do agree with. And I thought it was interesting. But they dished on lightweight rounds pretty bad. It was pretty brisk, but Lazy Maybe basically said that you shouldn't use it. Which I think, while it might be true, I have a sort of philosophy about that kind of thing, where that opinion should not be taken literally. It should be taken literally in terms of, well, it should be interpreted differently. It should be interpreted in terms of that representing the volume of discouragement they're trying to inflict on you, basically. But you should never actually let that stop you from trying something, in my opinion. If you want to try lightweight rounds, you should be at liberty to do that, but you can still go in with the opinions that are given to you by someone who says that it's not, that you shouldn't use it. But you should still be able to try it. Don't let someone tell you not to do something, basically. But keep in mind what they say, I think. Especially when, you know, that's a good philosophy for actual dangerous stuff in life, where if someone tells you not to do something, it's still up to you, but you should still factor in what they say. Don't ignore people who are trying to give you advice, but don't be dictated by them either. But honestly, I think it's almost more important to not ignore them, especially if it's like something dangerous in the real world, you know. Don't just like think everything's going to be fine. If you're skydiving or something. I don't know if I could ever skydive. I would be interested if I got like, you know, tickets or something. If I got to do it for free, I probably would. But it seems, well, I don't know if it actually does seem that terrifying. It's almost so high that you can't like see what you're falling onto, you know? You don't know how much it's going to hurt, and you know that if you do actually fall without, you know, in a way that you're not meant to, then you are probably just going to die. Although I remember hearing a long time ago about someone who survived like a proper skydive, like that entire fall. Like, they didn't open the parachute later or anything, they just fell from, like, 20,000 feet or something and survived. Like, that's probably not true. That's ridiculous, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Alright, now we're in the uplink phase, and I didn't take a resupply before starting it, but yeah, I remember actually doing a salvage operation and it not going as well as it could have done. Spreaders would be an issue. Spreaders are actually really good at fucking with you on salvage op, which is good. As in, I believe that's what they're meant to do, so good on Ghost Ship for making them good at that.
Triangulation at 50%.
Yeah, I guess something that is interesting about this is just the lures in general being like one of the lowest grenades, in my opinion. Our tier lists represent that. They're always placed very low. very low down. And I'm starting to think that's not fair. I take a very holistic view to pretty much everything in the game that I can. At the same time, I also tend to do a thing where I at least rate things in terms of them at their best, because I think that's fair. And lures at their best are quite good, so really I should not be putting them that low down. Although, if I'm being honest, they've only really worked for me with specific overclocks, which is just these two, Spinning Death and Classic Catalyst. So when I take the holistic view, I see the fact that it's really only working for me with 2 overclocks out of the 6 weapons and, you know, 36 overclocks that that engineer has, and only 2 overclocks are what make me want to use lures. You know, that's not that impressive.
Fuel cells have arrived. Connect them to the drop pod with the charge cable.
Ready to kill some more crates. Just what the doctor. Reloading.
Can't remember if I really said anything else, although we haven't talked about on in any kind of video that at some point in the coming weeks there's going to be some overclock tier lists inspired by Waste and Lazy Maybes. I recorded mine on Sunday, which is the day that I finished watching their video. Basically, well, my mouth is really dry. Basically, the video just sort of inspired me to sort of bang out a really quick, relatively quick overclock tier list of all of them, just to see what my thoughts are if I'm unburdened by a second opinion. Luckily, Tyler seems to be down to do his own. He acknowledges it will be far less serious, which is perfectly fine. I really like the idea of him doing it, so I don't mind whatever form it comes in. And then we're also going to compare them as well. That'll actually be 3 separate videos. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, that's coming up at some point. It's nice to have things that are coming up, actually. You know, like the interview, which I did talk about a little bit when I wasn't recording. So obviously you're probably seeing the premiere. I would hope some people have put notifications on. I'm not too bothered. It's something I wanted to generate hype for if that was at all possible, although I really don't mind. It's just, honestly, it's good enough that we got to do it in the first place. And it went so well. You know, we got to interview, if anyone doesn't know, we got to interview Trolls Jorgensen, who is the ex-sound designer for Ghost Ship. He was lovely. Like, he's a really nice guy, really cooperative, and just really on it. Great at answering questions, and also really, really easy to get along with too. Like, it was never awkward. Which was really helpful for us, given it was our first time doing anything like that. Definitely, like, obviously our first time really speaking to anyone aside from our friends on the channel, and definitely, obviously, our first time talking to anyone who's worked on something that we like, or specifically Ghost Ship. I've met, you know, like Brian Blessed, who I'm a fan of, but I didn't really get to talk to him. Yeah, it was incredible, and he was so nice and just so good. And I want to thank him again. You know, we thank him in the video a lot because he deserves it. Especially because, you know, let's be honest, it's not just that. It's just the fact that his work is incredible. You know, he's responsible for... He didn't actually make the music, and of course he isn't the voice actor, but he creates all the sound effects and implements all the music and voice lines. He's behind all the sound that you hear in game. He's the reason why Deep Rock sounds the way it does, and in my opinion, that is actually the most important thing. When you factor in sound effects, voice acting, and music, his role is, in my opinion, the most important for a single person in that team. The most instrumental to the game's success. I'm not kidding. I really didn't... I don't think I emphasized that enough. I didn't quite realize it when we were doing it, how important Trolls really is to Deep Rock, but... because he might be the most important person. I guess aside from Mikkel. But even then, it's not that Mikkel is actually responsible for the sound being done. That spreader is doing an amazing job at fucking with me really badly.
Time for a dancing zombie! Grabbing ammo.
Fuel cells at 75%. You're almost there.
So something I'm tempted to do, because the reason why I have magazine size on this Stubby is because I thought that just makes sense. I want to get as much damage out as I can in a single magazine. But I know already that I don't have the fire rate to kill like a Praetorian or an Oppressor with one magazine, so... And also, if I took fire rate, then I would have a smaller magazine. I don't really want to change it. The thing I am tempted to do, though, is actually take recoil, because I really need this thing to be as precise as possible. The other option, of course, is like take fire rate and then take the magazine size mod in tier 5, but I'm not doing that. No one should ever do that. Yeah, it's 20 magazine size on a weapon that starts with 30. That's actually quite a bit, but you're sacrificing electric arc. Now, in the context of this build, it's more of a clutch thing anyway, but the fact that electric arc can still proc when you're in a close range situation and slow down everything around you is really useful when it's needed. And it's just not worth losing that. Oh, an oppressor. Okay.
This'll lure them away.
Calculating orbital trajectory.
Right, let's let that spinning death do a little bit of work, but also put one on it directly and see what happens.
Powering radiation shielding.
Yeah, not crazy good. So maybe something I should mention is, obviously, our Stubby here is not like a big single target killer. It's more to pick off things like grunts, high-value targets, bacteria, individual grunts, web splitters, acid splitters, spreaders, even stingtails to a certain extent, Bacteria spawn and trijaws, menaces too. Even if you can get up close, I wouldn't recommend using spinning death on menaces because of how they can, you know, flee. They're cowards. That really is the best time to die. Wow. Okay. I almost just said something that was like that Troll said in the interview that I probably shouldn't. Not because it's like a huge spoiler. It's not like a big thing in game, but it's just something cool that he told us about something that he did. I think it's best that you hear it though. Hear it from his mouth before you hear it from mine. But it was really cool, and it actually made me respect him even more. Yeah. I guess that's what that update was last night. They actually did fix the icon. Oh, was that not Huh. For some reason I thought that was a assignment mission. I don't know why. Okay. Ugh. Disgusting. That's not bad. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Someone's trying to tempt me. And it's almost working. Although, frankly, I value these videos enough to not waste my time on something that I probably shouldn't waste my time on. Which would be that, basically. I reckon, actually, if I want to be... we're just in the fungus box, so I don't really want to do that. Honestly, I think this could be pretty cool. I think. Yeah, we're going to do this. Okay, so that obviously showed off strengths, and I don't think that really exposed any weaknesses either, so that's helpful. Well, actually, it's not helpful. I want to know what the weaknesses are. Okay. What are we going to change, though? Well, we're going to use a repellent additive, basically. That's what we're going to change. So let's get everything back to normal. Do I want to do this? I might actually leave that like that. The decreased recoil. I want it to be a laser beam, so that's perfectly fine. switch back to lures, obviously. Platform gun, repellent additive. Let's make sure everything's the same except for repellent additive, pretty much. Okay. I honestly, part of me wishes I could change the way this guy looks, but I still love it. It's just really old. Obviously, it's also the mascot. Only since sort of my avatar on the channel, on the podcast. So I can't really change it. I can't really get away with that. But yeah, we got elimination with elite threat this time. Oh, look at that. I'm over level 100 in the pass. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Not sure what I can say except just continue doing missions. I mean... Oh. I guess something to think about is if there's any particular synergy outside of the lures. Is there a synergy with the turret? Is there a synergy with any other primaries? Well, I guess an obvious one would be turret whip, which would involve both the turret and your primary, and given that you're using lures as well. But the truth is, it's going to kill any small enemy that touches it anyway, so turret whip would be pretty overkill as a synergy. It wouldn't actually be a synergy. An actual synergy, unfortunately, is Neurolesso, because you could hold a Dreadnought in place. A Dreadnought specifically. I was actually meant to say Praetorian, but then I realised that Dreadnought is actually the better thing for that. And I can't deny that, but I can deny that Neurolesso is worth using ever, so... Yeah. I'll tell you what, something that the Lazy Maybe waste tier list not inspired, but made me think about doing was actually a video where I talk about electromindlets and ultramagnetic coils for the coil gun. I basically talk about how electromindlets is just an absolutely worthless, horrible overclock, and ultramagnetic coils blows out of the water to such a ridiculous degree that I actually think electromindlets might be the worst overclock in the game. And I think that ultramagnetic coils might be the most overpowered thing in the game. So there might be something there. Especially when part of that comes from me believing that ultramagnetic coils is basically... There's no reason to not use that instead of electromagnets. And the fact that one of them I think is the worst thing in the game, one of them I think is the best. Like, what does that mean? That's kind of interesting, I think. So that could end up being a video. I don't know when I would do that. At all. I really don't know when, but I think I would like to. It'd be pretty interesting. I definitely want to take time to actually make sure my points are airtight, although my experience tells me that it definitely is the case. I wonder what I'm going to do next, not next week, next build showcase though, which would be a gunner one. I might actually do plasma bursters, I'm not sure. Well, there is a recent minigun build that I picked up. Kind of had it for a while, but got made a few tweaks, and I thought this is interesting enough. Like, this is a unique build enough to make a video on, so it could be that as well. Especially because there's room for even more Hurricane ones. Not that many more, but still more. The Hurricane is really quickly becoming my favourite weapon, maybe in the game, definitely in Gunner, which is pretty scary. Especially considering I thought it was like a bit of a blunder when it came out. I'm starting to realise it was actually, they nailed that as well. You hear that? That's nice. Right, in this case, we really want to hit that weak point. I don't know, man. I'm already feeling like I'd rather have the magazine size. So would that sound just distinct tail, or was it a corruptor? Still feel like I don't know exactly what... Oh my god, there's two of them. Fuck it, you guys are going down. And the reason why that works is only because it keeps you in place, I guess, which seems obvious, but...
Don't let him flank you. One sentry target ready to be built.
Huh? cut a little bit. So I guess a bit of a confession I should make is I haven't used this on elimination since I fell in love with it, but it's always been good on eliminations. I acknowledge that it won't be as good on the twins. The Arbalest could be a bit of a sore spot. Okay, Hive Guard. Spitting Death itself, there's no reason. I don't see why it would be good on the twins, because it would only be able to really get the Lacerator, and it would also do a lot of damage, which could actually result in what you don't want. Okay, so what I'm going to hope for is that lures work on Sentinels. Okay, that's good. Should help a lot. But they seem to be killing the lure very quickly. Oh, okay. I'm taking some damage that I'd rather not be taking. Okay, now this stage, I wouldn't know exactly the best thing to do. Could be Breach Cutter. Could be Stubby. Triple split line would be perfect here, obviously. I think a lot of people already know that. We don't have triple split line, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to... Mainly because the Hive Guard's stages are pretty long, I am definitely going to pop a Spinning Death in this. Because, you know, this combined, dude, that's how we're going to get the best DPS really here. Alright, that was pretty good. Also, lures, obviously, for Dreadnought fights are not really a great thing. It's really just the Hive Guard where they come into play. You know, I guess Swarmers, there are Swarmers in the main Dreadnought fight. I think they should be able to have some kind of effect in the twins. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's too much to ask. But it's not something that I thought about, and I think I have talked about it when it might have been in the last scout build, which was last week actually. Different uses for boomerangs in all the different Dreadnought fights. In that there is a distinct use for the boomerangs in all three. It's a different use for all three, which I think is actually kind of cool. I've got it should be obvious. I think it's just against the Sentinels. It just maps between them, does decent damage, and keeps them all in place very easily because, you know, a very small number for it to do that for. It's not difficulty. So they're just stunned and it does some damage to them. So you can just kill them easily. And you have more than enough to do that more than enough to use them multiple times. Every time there are Sentinels around. So, normal Dreadnought, it's for when the Dreadnought spews out Swarmers. Chuck one. Chuck it at the Dreadnought first, and then you can ideally get multiple hits against the Dreadnought, but it will clean up the Swarmers without you having to worry, which Swarmers can obviously be a big worry for Scout, so that's good. Twins, it's a little bit less airtight. It can activate the damage bonus, I guess, but really it's just for doing okay damage. It's just the fact that it bounces between them so cleanly that it makes sense. As much sense as it can. Yeah. Okay. Grab that, Jadis. Make sure I'm actually recording. Yeah, and that went well enough. I didn't do I could have done a little bit better in terms of health, but we took it down in decent time.
Team Rock seriously need to invest in some better equipment.
I'm gonna need to resupply as soon as I get to the next room, though. Oh shit!
This'll lure them away. Come and get me, you disgusting bug. Ready? Flares recharging.
Good morning, USA.
Reloading.
Got the dried mango, of course.
Donkey, come here.
Ah! Ah! I want to elite one. Okay, I'm looking at my nitro count. I can justify this.
Supply pod launched. Better stand back.
So an elite menace, that's a little bit different to a normal menace. Although with my ammo count, I'm not going to waste the spinning death shot on it.
All right.
I do wonder if it'd be worth it because
Everybody collect ammunition.
spinning death would keep the menace in place. Well, here's the thing about elite enemies: they're frail.
Eliminate.
They're just faster and more lethal. They actually go down easier than normal enemies. Which is weird. Yes, but it is true.
Platform up. Come here.
Okay. This is one of those moments where you have to decide which way you take. Like in Gears of War, left path or right path. Going right. I would love an elite bulk detonator right now. Although, thinking about things, we got Praetorian, we got Menace, we got other things, Grabber. I don't think it's justified cutting the elite oppressor. Especially given it's just a warning now. Elite enemies is a cool warning, but elite enemies are also a missed opportunity. I mean, I guess a lot of people might not know. Some people, I feel like some people will know. Maybe a lot of people do know. I don't know, but it's interesting. Elite enemies were at one point going to be a base feature, just in a normal game, like every mission. You could find elite enemies. I don't know if that made it out of experimental branch or not. I can't tell you that. And you know, the update that it came with the warning, but that was just to increase the amount. That wasn't just to add them in general. Just increase how many you would encounter. Same update as Swarmageddon was added too. I love that update, just a cool little update that added double warnings and a couple new warnings. I love that shit. I want another one of those. Probably not going to happen, but man can hope. But yeah, it was intended to be a vanilla feature in all mission types and all warnings. Which a decision that they backed down on and made it just a warning.
Come here.
Which is why I wish there were more variants, because Elite Threat is not like a hugely dangerous warning, to be honest. Like, I want elite shellbacks and wardens and oppressors and shit, you know? And also, like, the Spreader and the Stingtail are the exact type of enemies that would get elite variants too, so oversight there that they aren't in the game, in my opinion. Yeah, Spitballers are weird to me right now because I feel like I don't have a clean way to kill them in this build. It's fine, but it doesn't feel particularly clean. It's not like, you know, lasering with a shard diffractor, which just feels amazingly... Or just Inferno, which one-shots them. Or even Hyper Propellant, which easily one-shots them. I don't know. Not that I think it's a sore spot. I think it'd be very odd for a Spitballer to be a sore spot in terms of killing power. I don't think any build truly struggles to kill Spitballers.
That'll leave a mark. Platform.
Okay, so realistically, what I should do is actually go back and get that. Take a resupply from the one I called down earlier. And I will. Did you need to see that? Big brain.
Here's something for you to play with. There's charging.
So, I mean, okay. The truth is,
Thanks, boss.
the way that you deal with Stingtails is not that intuitive, really, is it? I know how to do it, but it's just, it's not easy enough. Is that a weird thing to say?
Ammo taken.
Probably, but
Feel much better now. I'm taking
I don't
some of
disagree
the
with
ammo.
myself. There's something going on. Something about them that isn't quite right. I can't deny that. I actually forgot I was using repellent additive. I haven't really used that, have I? I mean, yeah, Stingtails are making me really wish we had some kind of armor breaking on the Stubby. On this overclock would be nice. Then maybe people might use it. A weapon like this should have armor breaking somewhere.
I made a platform. One sentry gun ready to be built. It's armed and ready. Weapon ready.
Hey, fellas. Right, wins. Okay, fine. Do it.
Fire.
I guess the benefit of getting Hive Guard first means I at least know I'm not going to get twins twice. That wouldn't be great.
Reloaded.
Oh, are they healing? Wow. Alright, I'm just going to assume it's double. This won't do anything, but you never know. Something might have changed at some point. Ooh. Direct hit. Another direct hit, because I walked right into it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of just me playing a bit poorly. It's like sometimes I can dodge those very well, sometimes I don't. I mean, that's just an extraneous variable, really.
Go. Get to work. Damn flares could need an upgrade. I need support. Follow me. Let's go.
If I get with killing the lacerator. Okay. Might not be any great idea. 'Cause... Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Yes. Dumb, mate. You dumb apes. You want breakfast? You gotta catch it.
The Arbalestis are dead.
Yeah!
Reloading.
Nice. So, I mean, the truth is, this isn't like a mission where repellent additive can really come into play that much. We don't have normal form, so... But either way, I like the look of that other loadout so much. Kind of want to go back to it. I don't know if that's, like, normal.
Platform.
I don't know if I care about cosmetics too much. Maybe I do, but... You know, they're important. They're the main progression now. Well, the main like retention strategy is just unlocking cosmetics, so they're clearly supposed to be important. So you can't blame me for treating them with importance.
Bosco, mine it. Help me with the minerals here.
I just noticed these are actually proper Gold Rush veins. Like, for a long time, like, elimination just really didn't work with Gold Rush. And I think it still is that way with Salvage Off, actually. Hello?
Rock and roll.
That was weird.
My suit integrity is
Hi.
ruined. Time for a light show. There, charging.
That's delicious.
The smell, it lingers.
What's going on in there, then? You motherfucker, they shoot so goddamn quickly. My god!
One sentry gun ready to be built. Sentry off. Out!
Currently playing the Gears of War series. Doing it in a strange way. I mean, there's 5 games, and in a game, you know, a franchise I haven't played before, that's quite a few. So I'm currently on 2, which is supposedly the best one. I mean, I'm not having it's not going great. 1 was good. I like the gameplay. So far though, 2 isn't like particularly hooking me. It's fine. I did hear it's the best one, so that might be in 3 though. I'm not sure. Oh, there's also Judgment, which I think I probably will play as well. Which is the thing.
A few more of these
In
and I'll
between,
bleed out.
I guess with Judgment that means there is actually a halfway point. I'm gonna play something else. I'm gonna play Ravenlock actually, which looks interesting. I remember hearing about it last year during like the game showcase.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. The voxel, like Alice in Wonderland style hack and slash. I'm not sure. I think it is an action game. It's got a really interesting style. Not just like literally graphic style, but also just a cool art style aesthetic that it's utilizing. Don't know what that has to do with anything though. Oh my goodness.
Lock and load it.
I think I used my spinning death at the wrong time.
Mine it. Oh no! That will let the moisture in.
Mm-hmm. What's going on in here? Anything of note? No. Something else then. No. Something else then.
Resupply.
Supply pod requisitioned. Launching now.
I did hear what was either an oppressor or a Praetorian though. I wonder where he's at.
Help me mine this. The resupply is here.
There he is. Hello, sir. Hello, hello, dear. Welcome, welcome. Oh, this would be a Dreadnought or a Hive Guard. Wouldn't have minded all three. I usually prefer that than getting a double. It's still nice that can happen. Kind of. A little bit, not really.
Get away from me!
Okay, we're missing a sentinel. I can hear him. Hear him. The domain of the butcher.
No, there's a recharging!
Hey! Be nice. Hey! You bastard! Whoa! Whoa! Okay, hold on. This is bad. This is bad. It's bad, 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 bad.
Access provided.
Flee! Flee!
I needed that.
That's no good. You idiot! You bumbling buffoon! To do this. Who needs to shoot the ass? We can just do that.
Puncture wound. Dance with this. Reloading. I made a platform.
Nice.
Liquid Sentinel eradicated.
Social credit deducted. Ball. Ball drop. Ball acquired.
Bosco.
I'm starting to lose the fight. Literally. Might be a good time to resupply, might not. I don't know. What the hell is that? Why? Why now? Although I do, after that attack, I think I actually am safe here. Yeah, okay. I've got a pussy. Literally.
Oh, that's fine. Reloading. Time for a dance.
Oh my god.
Sentinel eliminated. Hate to wait flare charge. What's this?
Whoa. Whoa. Stop doing those close range attacks, man. Can't stand it. We have but one choice. Let's fight or we will fall.
Dreadnought wiped out for now. Good work, team.
And I ain't sticking around any longer.
Mule when you're ready, and we'll pick you up.
We're out for ambush. It could still
Sending the
happen.
drop
Alright,
pod
we're cool.
and starting the counter. This is it, team. Do us proud.
I'm taking some of the ammo.
Probably won't be able to deposit this Jadis before drop pod gets here. You never know.
Bosco, come here.
Fuck, he wasn't a fucking idiot.
Drop pod has arrived.
Well, that's over then.
Shooting the mule. Drop pod departing in T-minus 5 minutes.
No! That is nicked good. Don't know how you predicted that. I don't...
Go, go, go. Drop pod isn't waiting forever. Flares ain't ready. Platform's nice. Taste the pick. I was born ready. Bag's full. Can't carry anymore.
So, and maybe something that people think about is, why don't you use the proximity mines? They're basically the same thing. That's why. I don't want to double up on things that like function the same. I'd rather have things that complement each other.
4 minutes.
It kind of makes sense, but not really. It is a line of reasoning that you could use to make builds, but it's just not mine at all. I want everything to serve its own function, or to complement the other thing. And usually them serving their own functions distinctly complement the other thing because it fills in the gaps.
The mule has been successfully retrieved. Be it snappy, team. The drop pod won't hang around forever.
Okay. I could end this now, but I don't think I've gone all the way in terms of things. I think I've got to have some robots. I'd love a Nemesis, although I guess a Nemesis is not common enough to like that you really need to build for that. But I'd love either a Nemesis or a Corlock or a Betsy. Corruptor, not so much. Definitely not a Prospector. That'd be terrible. Okay. Have a look. Don't feel particularly strong need to change it. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't feel a very strong need to change anything except go back to this, just because I think I prefer magazine size and the look, and I don't feel like I need a repellent additive. So that's cool. All right. Well, we got our final mission. It's this beautiful little my presence point extraction. Don't do point extractions often. I feel like being sort of like on the having eyes on me while doing them tends to make them even more stressful. So yes, I avoid that usually, but not in this case. So this is the last one. I'm not going to change anything else. So maybe I should kind of evaluate things a little bit. So this build specifically is obviously good against single targets, dense groups, groups in tunnels, that sort of thing. But with lures, we can make it good against any type of group. Mactera aren't a true weakness either. The Stubby can take down individual ones very well, and even groups can be handled by the breach cutter or a combination of the Stubby and the turret. It kind of works out. There haven't been any major weaknesses. Things that attack from range that you'd want to stun. That's the weakness. Although the Sting Tail is the worst one at that because it's the only type of enemy like that is heavily armored, making it very hard to kill quickly. You definitely kill Spitters and Mactera quickly though. So yeah, main weakness is ranged disruption. The turret kind of has that. You could ensure that if you use Hawkeye system, but I ain't using Hawkeye system. Lure does operate though in this regard, in that when a lure is active and it is actually attracting one of those enemies I mentioned, like a Stingtail, then that's no longer a problem when you're using lures. So it has weaknesses, but some aspects of the build can cover for that weaknesses when they're active. But obviously we are limited in number of lures, and they only last for a limited amount of time. So there are limitations, but it covers all of its own weaknesses sometimes as well, which is pretty interesting. And obviously, clearly decent against bosses, although I guess not as great as you might expect from Spinning Death, which is meant to be like a real single target thing. But either way, honestly, I see Spinning Death as like being almost like a midway between Hyper Propellant and Fat Boy, which makes no sense, but as a concept. But I think when you look at Spinning Death, you can see why I might say that. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed, then thank you very much. I'm still going to do this final mission as a test to see how this works against robots. I think that'd be pretty cool. But either way, I hope I've either convinced you or done the opposite, repelled you from using Spinning Death. I don't know how I could. I think this has been a pretty good showing so far. I definitely could have played better in the last mission though. And also maybe open you up to a different kind of Stubby build that you probably haven't thought about before. Either way, that's really all the points I can make. We've got nothing else to do except jump into this final mission. So I'll see you down there. Alright, let's see if I can handle the pressure. Point extraction. Woo-hoo-hoo! With rifle presence. I guess the one thing you know that, you know, if you go on a Lift Age outbreak, you might get, you know, 3 spikes on a point extraction, which is brutal. But in this case, at least I know it's only going to be 1 turret controller, and even then you don't actually have to destroy it. So I almost definitely will. Oh, is this a hive? Oh, a hive sucks, actually. Whoa, okay, this is interesting. This is really interesting. I don't know why I'm doing bad. Okay, that's embarrassing. Definitively. Wow. Okay. Stingtails really are a weakness. Anyway, that thing about I said about hives might sound a bit odd. Basically, this is one of the newer cave shapes. I believe it's actually from Season 3, actually, at this point. But either way, one of the newer cave shapes for point extraction. We called it the hive. And the reason why I said it's bad is because I do think it's not great in solo. Really cool in multiplayer, though. Yeah. This is going to function as the bonus round, which means I don't think I'm going to pause it at all. It's kind of what point extractions are like anyway.
Help me with the minerals here.
Pretty non-stop. Like shredders. I mean, the truth is, we've got nothing for that except Burrow. Really.
Shredders, don't get him in your beard. Reload it. Don't waste your ammunition.
Oh, hi.
Platform. Light for me, please. Light there.
No. No, what the hell?
Go fetch. Taste the pickaxe. Loot bug eliminated.
So honestly, I'm thinking for the purposes of this, I might just rush in and try and deal with the turret controller. That might be a more, like, interesting test, to be honest. Also, I should have 4 quartz. Right? Wait, no, actually. No, yes! What the hell? What happened? What happened?
Go! Get to work! Inventory is full. I'm wondering if fighting bugs and moving dirt is the best way to make a living. Help me mine this.
Tell you what I haven't had in a while. Thankfully so. Oh! There's a core lock or a point extraction. Which I am quite happy about. I'd rather not have that.
The swarm is here.
Weapon ready. Mine it. Go lie down forever. Players recharging.
Don't find us at home. Well, I gotta. Okay, I can come back. It's fine.
Platform up. Squish. Never like that. Lure it up. Die like you're dead.
You know, at this point, it is actually worth using Spinning Death against the Stingtails. They grab you, pull you towards them, then you can Spinning Death them. I guess that actually kind of works out pretty nicely.
I'm totally loaded.
Grouping a Stingtail and Praetorian together, though, that is a very efficient use. That's what we want to see. Although it didn't actually kill them.
Party one down. Not ready. There's recharging. Resupply order.
Nitro's been withdrawn. The supply pod is in.
Let's think about the fact that in Gen 8 of Pokemon, the evil team were simps. Oh, what the hell is that? Also, I haven't played Pokemon since.
One platform.
I mean, I played Ultra Sun recently for some reason, but it's also the latest played.
Platform.
Gen 7. There was a time when I almost wanted to be a Pokemon fan, which is really weird. But I don't think I ever really was. I like Tyrannosaur Tube. He's cool. Don't mind me. Right, that could be better. Okay, that is a bit weird actually. Where does that mean the turret controller is? Is it through there? I think I know what it might be actually. Anyway, I just need a one more quark, I'm pretty sure, right? What? I swear these quarks are disappearing.
Off to the junkyard with you.
Ooh.
Players, not ready yet. Out of my way. Damn, hacking is horn ready. This patrol bot is now our friend.
Mm-hmm.
Grab it! Depositing! I need you here. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll beat your record this time. Let's go.
Booth record.
I can't carry anymore. Terrain scanner just got updated with a new location.
Oh hi.
Booyah! Bursting makes me
Ah!
covering fire. Press this. Have to wait for their
What? And the Joker, baby. grab these quarks, then we can focus on the turret controller.
Help me mine this.
Pardon me. Oh dear. Embarrassing.
Skull crusher.
Incoming! Smoke
Oh
instrument.
no. Oh doom. Master Skywalker, what are we going to do? Oh, this isn't great.
There's a recharging. I was born ready.
Maybe if the quarks actually went up there, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. That'd be really cool. No, this is not where I want to be placed. What the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? What am I doing? What's going on? Ah! I'm sad.
Bosco, you are the best. Max, can't carry anymore. Need more ammo.
Oh, I might be fucked.
Reloading.
Oh, you know, you win some, you lose some.
Platform. Sentry set. Go get him, boy. Born ready. Yeah.
Why the two oppressors? No reason for that.
I'm taking some of the ammo. Oh yeah. Booyah! Oppressor down!
Okay.
Wonder what slot they're serving in the canteen tonight.
You fuck off with that.
Bosco, help me carry this.
This thing is ridiculous. Why are you doing this to me? Go up! Just go up! Thank you. Oh, Lord.
Here, have a bullet in the face.
What? What are you doing? Bosco, please. Move! Oh, I need to say slurs.
Bosco, time
Oh, you fuckers.
Secondary objective completed. Make it home to collect your bonus.
Wait, what?
Dollar store kits, beach toys.
Yeah, wait, no.
You make your ancestors proud, miners. Performance point bonus activated. Well done, you got them all. Hit the launch controls to return the minehead. We'll send in the escape pod.
Preserve your bullets! I need it.
You know, I'm going to be smart. We're going to take on the turret controller, but I'm going to make sure I get out of here as well. I don't want a swarm coming when I'm trying to take that out.
Minehead launched.
Although this will still spawn ambushes.
Hold the line. Escape pod arrives.
Either way, I'm going to have to deal with extra enemies, but at least I want it to be on my own terms.
There's charging. First turret. Stable.
The way that these are like are positioned makes using a spinning death to kill turrets really like not a thing. Oh dear, this is awful. This is awful. I don't quite know what the right approach would be for this, to be honest. Makes me feel pretty stupid.
That won't create. Locked and loaded. I feel quite lost.
Maybe I should stay away from them. What the? Oh, a showbot. Hi.
Access provided. I was born ready. They haven't yet invented a machine that can best the war. Reloading.
But actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be real cheeky, try and get the drop pod to spawn in the turret controller room.
Drop pod inbound. Stand clear.
Let's clear them out.
Drop pod arrives, waiting for takeoff.
Getting more ammo.
Drop pod departing in T-minus 3 minutes.
Die!
What the shit? What is this? Power control room's just over here.
Drop pod departing in T-minus 2 minutes.
I think. Yeah, there it is.
Go ruin someone else's picnic. Yours. That's all you got. Just flip Damn players could need an upgrade. I feel less on edge without these things around. Reloading. Get away from me. Accurate, but dead. Here's something for you to play with. I'm getting good at this. Weapon ready.
Drop pod departing in T-minus 1 minute.
Offline. One platform, ready to use. Time for a dancing lesson. I made a platform.
Yo! Amazing.
Commencing. Good work.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Not really, but that's pretty cool. Guess I didn't fail any missions today. Is there anything that could possibly catch my eye? No. No. But I'm going to do this. We're not recording. So, what have we learned?
Pod is prepped. Get on board.
Sting tails are a weakness. You can kill them if you want to. If you let it grab you, it will take you to it. Then you can spin death it and it will die. The thing is, there's so many things that spinning death is tempting to use on that you can actually run out of ammo with it. If you use it on everything that deserves it. But it's still really strong. Lures pair with it perfectly. This Stubby build is actually okay. It's not the most perfect build in the world, but it's proven to me that spinning death is great. But it might have always been, but that ammo buff really helped it. So yeah, that's the spinning death build. That's my spinning death build. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you try it and enjoy it. That'd be awesome. If you do, please let me know. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell. If you want to see any more Deep Rock Galactic content, including more build showcases and any and all Deep Rock Galactic updates and news. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much, because things have been pretty cool for the channel recently. So just in general, big thank you. You guys rule. Take care.